I've got some light flickers going on. Good morning, Collective. 44 on the clock. Good morning. I hope you are doing well this morning. I hope that you are finding joy, that you're being kind to yourself and other people. I hope that you're choosing the high road and not giving in to your carnal natures. Hello, good morning, Collective. My name is Patience, your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about your non-physical energy. If you want to, oh, I just had a brain fart. Sorry, I'm gonna drink more coffee. If you would like to know more metaphysical information about your non-physical energy, you can find all of that through the link tree in the description bar. We would love to have you. We have put all of our data gathered as we are on this journey of self-development of our spiritual gifts from childhood. We have gathered all that information for you and put it on Spirit News, which is on all major platforms. So excited and so grateful for how it is unfolding, and we are open to receive whatever divine abundance is waiting for us. And we're matching the energy so that we can meet it there, because all of everything you desire has already been happened. Everything has happened. You just have to match the timeline of that energy. And that's what we're learning. That's what we're teaching you as we do it in real time. As master manifestors, as co-creators of the universe, we're so happy to be here. I love you so much. I truly love you. It's a joy to be here, to come here with you and co-create in this way and connect and to be able to share energy. And hello, Cristiano. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Hi, Gopal Muniswaran. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk to Joan Rivers today. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know much about Joan Rivers. She's a little ahead of my time, but we answer every call that comes to us. I love you too. Thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I am a childhood psychic. I was born this way. We believe here at Spirit News that everybody is psychic. Your non-physical energy, your electromagnetic field is the medium, the tool in which is used by your body to pick up on energy or information, and it's up to you to interpret it and to discern what information is coming in. So we do that here. By learning how to read energy with my very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. They're here with us, and we're here to help people go from the head to the heart, because we're shifting ages into different consciousness, into a different cycle, and it requires a little bit of adjustment and a little bit of help to smooth out some of those leftover things that can't come with us, that don't match the energy. And we want everyone to come. We want everyone to come into the new earth. So we use these stories from past over loved ones and ancestors to help us understand their human perspective from a higher perspective of their linear view. And it's really fun, and we're so excited to be here. So we have Joan Rivers today. And Joan Rivers, what I know about her, and the reason I know she's been coming to me is because the necrometer keeps on saying Joan and then River. And I didn't put the pieces together until, and I'm so sorry, Joan. I didn't put the pieces together because I don't know much about Joan Rivers, honestly. I know she passed away, but I was listening to a podcast, and they brought up Joan Rivers, And it was a completely like weird side topic for what they were talking about. I had nothing to do with Joan Rivers. So I was like, oh, and it kind of just all I received it all at once. I was like, okay, I got it. She's a diva. Yeah, she was definitely ahead of her time, I think. And I'm really interested to know what she wants to bring forward. She lived a long, prosperous life till the age of 81 and says that she passed away from medical complications from a procedure to diagnose a sore throat and strained vocal cords. Um, The emergency led to cardiac arrest and unconsciousness. Joan Rivers was an American actress, comedian, producer, writer, and television host. That is really awesome. 60. She's been around since the Spirit said 60, since her I guess her career started picking up in the 60s. And I do have some pictures of her in the 60s, a groundbreaking feminist comedian. So I'm fascinated to know what she's going to talk about. I know she was very outspoken. I know that she didn't hold back. And it says she's an activist. She was on the Johnny Carson show, but they weren't close off stage, so that's interesting. Maria. Spirit said Maria. Peace and healing. Peace and healing. Yes, Spirit. Thank you. Yes, we're here for peace and healing. We're using our ancestors' stories to help us heal. We're going to find out what she wants to tell us, what lessons she has to share with us, and we're so happy to have her. Excuse me. Joan, where do you want to go first? Thank you so much, Holy Divine Spirit, angels, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, loved ones, beings of love and light. We are so grateful to share energy with you. I invite the energy of Joan Rivers into my energy field. If she's in a place of healing and would like to share her human experience with Archangel Michael protecting us, I gladly invite you. All right. Joan, what's the vibe, Joan? What is your vibe? What was the vibe? Let's see. What's your vibe, Joan? Let's start off with a feeling. What's the feeling you want to portray to us? It's a monster. It's a monster. Oh, she's got a lot of emotions here. Spirit said it's a monster. She may want to... Oh my gosh. She may want to tell us that she had an array of emotions in her career. Mostly, look, these are in the middle. Mostly happy, but there was a time maybe at the beginning of her career and at the end that she wants to convey to us. Okay, thank you. She had a long career. You know what? My first impression was I was surprised. Because for somebody so outspoken or appearing to be outspoken in Hollywood, to live until 81, in our discovery by talking to past over celebrities, it's not common. It's not common. So it's very interesting to us. I wonder what that's about. And we're going to find out. So, who is Maria? Who is Maria? I don't know. Spirit said, who's Maria? So I don't know if Maria is relevant to somebody in the chat. I don't know. But thank you all for being here. Thank you to Joan. Please, Joan, tell us. What do you want us to know? Oh, I'm so silly. I have to do the colors first if I want to do Trivial Pursuit. Air. Air. On air. Spirit said air. Something that is about her time on air. On the Johnny Carson show, perhaps? Tell us more. Do tell. It says, it's a monster, gazing eyes. The 60s. Okay. I have 2 green, 1 blue, 1 pink, 1 yellow. We'll do the green first. What London street was good to Jerry Rafferty in 78? Baker Street. That's so funny because I'm a baker. I'm a baker. I had a little bit of trouble with someone at work as a baker that I had to communicate with. She could have had trouble with somebody at work that she found hard to communicate with. Someone she was trying to get in good with. London Street. She had trouble with someone at work. Okay, got it. Oh, look, and this face is green. Someone who... Oh, thank you so much, Reed. Thank you for being here. Machiavelli, damn Indians have raided your live. That's not nice, okay? That's not nice. If everyone can be nice, you can stay. But if I see anyone being naughty or saying negative things or being yucky, I'm going to get you out. But I want you to stay. So just a warning. If you're going to be nasty, I got to get you out. But you can stay and I'll give you another chance. Okay? So someone at work gave her anxiety. She was trying to get in good with someone at work. Someone that she found it hard to communicate with. She was trying to... What Spanish opera racked up a pop pleaser with John Denver? That's so funny the way it's phrased. A pop pleaser. Pleaser? A people pleaser. What Spanish opera star racked up a pop pleaser with John Denver? Placido Domingo. She wanted to be a star, so she may have people please this boss of hers so she could rack up some kind of clout or be noticed. Okay, she wanted to be noticed, so she may have went out of her way to be a kiss ass. Basically, she says she's admitting she was a kiss ass. Okay, all right, what else? She wanted to get to the top, so she knew she had to please somebody. It says pop pleaser. What teen star's greatest hits LP include Heather Honey and Hooray for Hazel? Tommy Rose. Red Marks. Something she wanted to do since she was a teen. Something that she had to change herself for, maybe to be... I'm kind of getting... I don't know if she's a natural blonde, but she may have had to change her hair color to be like a blonde with light eyes, with honey toned, you know, to be noticed or to get noticed as a woman. Yeah, what Blue-Eyed Soul duo is praised by Sam and Dave for renewing interest in vintage. She had to reinvent herself. She wanted to do something since she was a young girl, since she was a teenager. That could have been the comedy, but in that time, in the 60s or 50s to 60s, it wasn't something that women do. And so she had the talent, but she had to suck up, and then and not only that, she had to change her style. She had to become a light hair, light-eyed woman to be praised by men, to renew interest in her so they wouldn't see her as vintage, as old-fashioned or like frumpy. She had to change her look, basically. All right. I'll run your fan club like Yolanda. Oh, but you know Yolanda killed Selena. Selena! We should talk to Selena's. Let me write that down. Selena's, yes, girl. Reed, I don't want a fan club. I just want to be a community of friends where we work together. Selena's. Was a bad joke. That's okay. I appreciate your support. Hello, ma'am. Memes land, thank you for being here. We're talking to Joan. So far, she's telling us that she had she had a dream of being a comedian since she was a teenager, but she didn't fit the role in that time, in that era that was dominated by men. So she had to change herself to be noticed, to renew interest in her so she didn't seem like she was vintage. She wanted to be praised. She wanted to be seen as hip and cool. So she changed her look. Okay. Was there ever a singing quartet called the Four F Holes? The Four F Holes. Twinkle, no. Okay, so, and also in the beginning, she said she had some kind of dynamic at work where she felt unseen, where she felt unclear, where she stood was unclear because she was surrounded by F holes. She was surrounded by F holes. She's funny. She is a comedian. I mean, fuck holes. I mean, excuse my language. Maybe that's another way to say a-holes. And it says 4 people here. So there could have been some type of dynamic where she found her found herself in a place of opportunity, but having some kind of obstacles placed there by 4 f-holes or a-holes, that could possibly be men. Okay. What country family's first Victor hit was 1927's "Bury Me Beneath the Willow"? The Carter family. The Carter family. It could have been family or someone she considered family, or someone who there could have been something about a drama where, like I said, she was very outspoken. And so there could have been something that happened where she outspoke herself to somebody who was an a-hole to her that was trying to stop her from fulfilling her dream. It could have been someone in her family, I'm not sure. But after she did that, they decided to they had some kind of vendetta against her, to bury her beneath the willow, metaphorically, to make sure she wouldn't get far or something like that. Okay? I'm going to take one more. Orange. I'm going to take one more. Trivial Pursuit. What famed fugal work? What famed fugal work by Bach sold 30 copies during its first 4 years in publication? There's 4 again. 4. The number 4 is relevant. The Art of Fugue. Fugule. Outside. Okay, I gotcha. Spirit said outside. Okay, I gotcha. So, whatever this opportunity was, and this person that she didn't agree with, they gave her a hard time. They were making it so she would not have work. They made it so maybe for 4 years, she had a hard time getting work because of something that happened at the beginning part of her career in the 60s. I don't know who she was. I don't know anything about Joan Rivers, so if you know, please put in the comments. But, oh, I have to say also, this is for, oh, thank you, Reed. We need to get your numbers up, my divine lover. Whatever is available for me, my divine right will come to me, and whoever needs the messages will be brought here. So it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality, not the quantity. Okay. So someone in the beginning of her career had some kind of vendetta against her because she was outspoken, she was talented, she tried to play the game, she changed her look. It could have been a rival or a family member, somebody who just was hating on her because she was actually doing something and she could have been making some headway, but they famed her, or I wanted to say framed her. They could have done something to blackball her for the first 4 years of her publication of her career that stunted her growth, that kept opportunities from her. Okay. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Let's do a mind trap, okay? Since someone tried to hold her back, we'll do a mind trap. Tell us more, Joan. It made her sad. It made her unclear if what she was doing was the right thing to do because she was receiving so many obstacles.
I have a secret.
Oh shit, she said I have a secret.
Antique.
Picture a bridge 4 kilometers long. 4 again. 444. What? Let me see what the angel number 444 is. Because that, my friends, is synchronicity. 444. The number 444 can have multiple meanings, including it's an angel number that represents clarity, stability, and decisiveness. It can be a sign that someone is about to make a big decision, progress toward their goals, or gain more control over their life. It can also be a sign that someone is ready to develop in their career or that they should make a change for the better. Oh my gosh, come through, Spirit! That totally applies to Joan's story, 444. So she was trying to get clarity in her career. She was trying to make moves over here. Picture a bridge 4 kilometers long and strong enough to hold 10,000 kilograms, but no more. A loaded transport truck weighing exactly 10,000 kilograms drives onto the bridge. At the halfway point, a sparrow weighing 30 grams lands on the truck, yet the bridge doesn't collapse. How could this be? And Spirit said, I have a secret. Some kind of weight on her shoulders, or she had something on her shoulders she was carrying that was heavy, but somehow, and that's what kind of applies to what I was saying at the beginning of the reading, how it surprised me that someone made it to 81 in the Hollywood industry, entertainment industry, being so outspoken. How can this be? How could this be? The truck would have burned off more than 30 grams of fuel in the first 2 kilometers of crossing the bridge. Therefore, the sparrow's weight would have had no effect. She said my face. She said her face. Dang, Kevin. Kevin and Maria are significant. Oh, my coffee's so good. Burned off. That's interesting. Burned off my face. Burned off. Burned off more than 30 grams of fuel in the first 2 kilometers of crossing the bridge. The bridge. Burning bridges. Something about having a secret and learning how to play the game so she didn't burn bridges. She learned this early in her career because she had already burned a bridge by being the outspoken person she was. So there's something she learned, how to keep a secret or something like that. How to keep a secret. How to keep a secret, to not burn bridges, to be long and strong enough to hold more weight. She must have known people's secrets or something. Something about knowing people's secrets kept her in the game. She knew that they didn't see her as an equal, so she needed leverage. Leverage. She had some kind of leverage. She may have known people's secrets. That's what kept her in the game for so long.
During meditation.
During meditation.
Mysterious disappearance.
They were all married. They were all married. Oh, she may know something about these 4 people or someone she worked with that were married. Hardy Pyle was bragging about his church's baseball team. He said, 3 of our players hit home runs, and 2 of those home runs were hit with the bases loaded. Our guys won 9-10, and not a single man crossed home plate. How is this possible? They were all married. Shit. That was her. She kept a secret. That's how she stayed in the game so long. She had some kind of dirt on so many people and she used it against them. I can just see her saying it. She's like, don't fuck with me. You want to stay in this game, then you better play the game. And I know your secrets. I know that you're married. I don't think your wife would like to know what you were doing last night at the office. Player, says right here, bragging about being a player, hitting home runs with the bases loaded. Yeah. And not a single man crossed home plate. How is this possible? Because they were all married. Because she was the only woman in a place full of men. And the men, you know what? God bless her heart. If you have to resort to playing the game the way the men in this situation would play, because they were discriminating against her for being a woman. She was outspoken. She probably said exactly what was on her mind when they brought shit to her. And men don't like that. I mean, nobody likes that, but if you can't handle the truth, something that's true, and somebody says it and that affects you to that level where you would go out of your way to ruin someone's reputation or somebody's career, then that's on you. That's not Joan's fault because she can tell you the truth and you can't take it. You're just being a little baby. Okay? So she realized in the beginning that she had to play the game.
Disagree.
Oh, Spirit said disagree.
15.
So she may have not wanted to do this, but she kind of didn't have a choice. I don't think she did it like vindictively, like, well, if you're going to do this, then I'm going to do this. It was kind of like forcing her hand because she got herself to a place where she was right where she wanted to be with her career, 444. But she was coming up against these other people that are in her environment or in this workplace that are trying to stop her because she's outspoken and she's talented. She already changed her look. She already did all these things to make herself more accepted by these people. And there could also, this is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove any of this. This is all alleged. I'm just reading the energy. There might also be, I'm going to say it. I don't know yet, but she said disagree. So another angle could be that she was sleeping with these men even though they were married and she held that against them. You know what I'm saying? So there's that as well. Okay. I hope it's not that, but this is her story and we're not going to judge her, and we're not here to judge people. We're here to heal. Okay. A man was found assassinated in his 51st floor hotel room, which had been locked from within by the deadbolt. He was slouched in a chair in front of one of the windows in the room. The carpet below the window drapes was damp. The only sound in the room was the steady drone of the air conditioner. A bullet had entered the back of his head and was lodged in the back of his skull. It was determined he was shot and killed exactly where he sat, and that the bullet had been fired from well over 30 meters away. The man had been dead for several hours. Since the windows had been locked from within and the glass unbroken, how was the assassination carried out? The window had been kept open with a piece of ice. The man was shot from a nearby building. As the ice melted, the window slowly slid down until it automatically locked itself from within. Damn. Undeniably, this took a turn. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Okay. That might be what this is about. Okay. So, she may have been witness or part or some kind of participator in a death of someone, or she may have knowledge of a death, or she may have been in some version, yeah, in some way associated with some kind of death. Someone, something they had to make look like an accident or look like someone else, or she knew of this or something like that. This may have been some kind of indoctrination or some kind of invitation or initiation. That's the word I want to say. Initiation. This was some kind of initiation into some kind of boys' club for her to be able to maintain the opportunity she was getting. Thank you, Spirit. That could be how she stayed in the game for so long. How is this possible? This might be how she stayed in the game for so long. She may have witnessed many things go on that were against her morals, but she knew she had to play the game, and she was presented with an opportunity once she used this information about married men against these people in her environment, in her career. They realized that she could actually have some kind of potential or moxie, the balls to be part of a group. Her using leverage against them showed them that she may have some potential to be part of some kind of elite group or something. Even though she did that only to solidify her own opportunity, it was like a trap. She had to do that. So once she did that, she was ruthless enough to these men to be portrayed as maybe being, good enough to be in this group that she may have been initiated in through by either associating or being initiated in some way through some kind of death of something or someone. Okay. She's a comedian, so this just got heavy. Let's try to do something lighter, okay? We'll do What Do You Meme? I can't make it up. I can't make it up. She may have witnessed something that she had to be a part of. She might not have had, done it herself, but she definitely was a witness to it in some kind of group setting. Something she watched, something she had to watch. Something she couldn't escape from. My dog when I pretend to throw the ball but don't. Yeah. She had to pretend. She had to pretend to be interested in being part of this group because it was the only way she could go where she wanted to go. So she watched, she I don't know how much she participated, but she definitely saw something or was initiated, and then she had to play the game. She had to pretend like she was cool with it because they brought her this opportunity to begin with because of her ruthlessness to use what they're doing against them.
During travel.
But she thought about it all. She thought about it all the time. When you're in the middle of reading a good post and your timeline automatically refreshes. Yeah. When you're in the middle of reading a good post and your timeline automatically refreshes. Yeah, she didn't want it to be this way. She didn't realize this was what she had to do in order to accomplish her dreams, but by the time she could really reflect about it, it was too late. Like you once you're in, you're in. You know, blood in, blood out. And so she had to play the game. She couldn't express her disgust or her disdain or her shock or all the negative emotions of what she had participated in or became a part of, because then that would be her demise. So she just had to sit quietly. She just had to sit quietly, kind of just go with whatever came up, and it may have interrupted what she thought was going to be like this great accomplishment, but she gained it through, a shocking. When my dog, when I pretend to throw the ball, but I don't. Yeah, she had to pretend. Okay, so it was more of an act. Behind the scenes, she wasn't as outspoken. She was docile. She was made to be quiet. She was made to be a little less than exuberant. Excuse me, I'm getting stuffy. Holy Divine Spirit, please remove any energies that are trying to stop this reading. I cast you out in the name of Yeshua. When YouTube gives an unskippable ad. And yeah, I told you it was unskippable. This is something that she had to be docile about, that she couldn't be outspoken about. She had to just wait. She just had to deal with that. Because she kind of trapped herself in this place. She couldn't freak out. She couldn't freak out. She wanted to press the out button, but she couldn't. When the coach's son starts crying after losing a soccer scrimmage. Yeah, because she was surrounded by immature, egoic men that would cry at the hair of if she said anything, they'd freak out on her and they would threaten to ruin her career. She was always walking on some kind of like tightrope or thin line. All the way up to her old age. When you show up on a blind date and they're wearing a fedora. She had to wear many hats all the way up till she was an old age. She had to play the game. Oh my gosh, could you imagine having to pretend like you're okay with something because you've already trapped yourself into it, and every time you're around these people you have to wear a different hat. That's what
Whisper your name.
that's what she was doing. When you're playing house with your older siblings and they make you be the couch with no lines. Over.
Influenza.
Influenza. In her old age, she may have finally wanted to put an end to things, or play a different game, or cross a line, or there's something about how she didn't want to play anymore. You know, she's 81, so playing this game since the 60s. Now she's 81, 2014. That's a long time to pretend. So something about her not wanting to pretend anymore. She didn't want to play the game anymore. She may have started to let her guard down, be a little more, contemptuous, or be a little more outspoken to people that she normally wouldn't be. But when you get older, it's like you start not caring about those things anymore. Subordinate. Yeah, subordinate. Thank you. Or insubordinate. She became insubordinate. I can't make it up. She had repressed her true self behind the scenes for so long, and then when she's in front of the camera, she has to be a version of herself. But how can you truly be yourself when in one state you have to hold yourself back, and then all of a sudden in front of cameras you have to be this like extraordinary version of yourself, and then when you're backstage you have to hold back. Like that's like a real tug and pull between your authenticity, and that can be very detrimental to your health, to your mental health. So she may have started to be in her inner child state as she was getting older. She may have started throwing more tantrums, or just arguing, or talking back more, or not being okay with certain things. When you've been dating your military boyfriend for 3 weeks and he hasn't asked for your hand in marriage yet. She may have realized that by doing this back and forth, this tug of war, in staying in fear of being, like I said, blood in, blood out. We're learning that Hollywood doesn't take lightly people who want to talk back or not conform to whatever it is they do behind the scenes. And if you're somebody who's really prone to speaking up and calling people out, you're not going to be very popular. And so this tug of war, this back and forth, this real dedication to staying in this environment, or the entertainment industry, could have affected her marriage, could have affected her dating life, her family life. It could have been, something where she couldn't exactly give her all or tell her secrets, which can be very detrimental to relationships when you have to hold back intimacy and you can't be fully transparent. That can definitely hold you back in your relationships. And so she could have found herself having trouble having fulfilling, long lasting relationships that were meaningful to her. And in her old age, she could have started realizing all the ways that this held her back in her emotional life. Like, she may have been a comedian and an activist and all these things. You just expose your disdain, your target in the 60s era. Your target in the
16.
60s. Spirit said 16. Yeah,
Horrific silhouettes.
horrific silhouettes. Yeah, she definitely. Well, if I could put myself in her shoes and kind of try to look through her eyes, it's like you have a dream in a male dominate. It reminds me of and I don't mean to make it about myself, but this is exactly what it reminds me of. When a long time ago, a very long time ago, I used to want to be a rapper. I used to be in hip hop groups, and we would perform at these like dive bars and like for charities and stuff. And it was so much fun and I loved it. and we would freestyle, and I'd freestyle at school. We'd make songs with the guys at school, and there's not a lot of female rappers, and I did it because I've always enjoyed writing poetry and all that, and I'm good at it. I can write. I'm a lyrical genius. Okay, I'm good at it. I'm not saying I'm the best rapper of all time, but I enjoyed doing it, and so I tried to pursue that, and I went to battles. I would work with other artists, and what I found is that they always expected something sexual from me to be working with them, as if me working with them is some kind of like, oh, I owe them now or something, instead of it just being a collaboration, instead of it just being a fun artistic endeavor that we're partaking on together.
Numerologist.
It was always like, well, if you come to the studio,
Solo.
are you gonna suck my thing? And I'm like, what? The solo, yeah. So I realized that, in a male dominated industry, and even the battle I went to, I was the only female in a battle. I think it was a 44 men, and we had to do a battle where it was like topics, and and you get eliminated each round, and they're giving all these guys the greatest topics, like all these cool things that they could be creative with. And when it comes to me, because I'm the only female, I have to freestyle about every female rapper before me in chronological order. I'll never forget that. I was like, what? Why? Why? Because I'm a female? That's, you think that that's okay? So it's just, that's what this feels like a targeting, like you said, Reed, a target. Being different, feeling like you have power over the woman and you can dictate where their direction goes. You don't dress right. You don't look right. You're not sexy enough. I need you to, I had people tell me that I don't rap sexy enough, that my raps are too lyrical, that I need to like rap more, you know, like talk about sex more. Like, what are you talking about? Why can't I just rap about, so that's what it feels like, that kind of situation. But the difference between me and Joan is I didn't want to be part of that. I wasn't going to, I didn't feel like I should have to change myself or do what they wanted in order to be accepted. I just took that as a sign that this isn't for me. This isn't where I want to go. I'm not going to become more sexual. I'm not going to be this person I'm not to fit whatever it is they need me to be accepted by them. But for Joan, she wanted this so badly because she felt like this was something that she was good at and it was fun for her. But in that time she was in the 60s, it's like it was unheard of. And so, and then not to mention that Hollywood's run by, mobster gangsters that do ritualistic things for, fame or whatever. And I know that because there's a whistleblower who was one of the experiments that the CIA experimented on, which is all documented through court transcripts, and she puts them in the back of the book. Oh my gosh, what's her name? I read her book. She was basically, it was in the 60s, and she was used as a mind control agent. It was made by, it was a MK Ultra experiment, and the government has admitted to that. And it was in the 60s, and she was basically like used as a sex slave to high ranking people like politicians and world leaders and stuff. And she would infiltrate by using the guise of
Warning
sex.
signs.
And I'm not saying that was Joan, but I'm
Air
saying
freshener.
in the 60s, this is very, this is like common workplace behavior to have a whole room full of men who are all cheating on their wives and doing God knows what. Because you get a bunch of boys together who are emotionally irresponsible, who think they have so much power living in their egos, and who knows what they'll do, okay? So that was the environment she's in. That And that's something that could be a lesson that's coming up, or one of many in this reading. Your environment will dictate
Huddle.
where the environment you're
Maternal
in will
solitude.
muddle your own energy. If you are surrounded by humans that are corrupt in heart and mind, then you will take on those attributes if you don't have a strong vibrational stance or know where you're at vibrationally or energetically. You will adopt or pick up those behaviors as being okay, because that's what your environment is showing you. And you will take action in that energy, and you will start to invite or match that type of behaviors or energy, and you will attract more of that. So that's kind of like what's happening in this situation.
I am the only one left.
I'm the only one left. Yeah, she's the only female in this environment of men who are in their egos, who had already tried to exert power over her by having her change her look, change the way she's, accepted. You're not sexy enough. You should dye your hair blonde. You should, all these things. And so she did all that, and she still was not respected. Then she started to see this men's behavior, and she could have also partaken in pleasing them sexually, and they're married. So she used that against them. Um, she took on a trait of them having to be cutthroat, because she thought that if she did, it would give her leverage. And what it did was it did bring her leverage, but it also brought to their attention that she was matching their energy in the way they think, and her dedication and her commitment to want to stay and do her thing. And they considered that an invitation or a time to initiate her. Well, if she's going to match us, then we know that she's one of us. And then we can initiate her in this thing that we have that make us so powerful, or feel so powerful. And that was whatever this death is. It could be metaphorical, like a death to the old version of herself, but I do think she definitely witnessed something that she had to pretend was like okay with her. We'll do one more meme. Thank you, Joan. So what else? Oh, look, yeah, it blocked her heart chakra. Heart attack. She had a heart attack on the bed on when she was doing the checkup for herself for her throat. She had a heart attack because she had a blocked heart chakra, because she blocked her true, she matched energy that didn't match the energy of the heart. Okay, it matched more of her root chakra. She was in survival mode. It was survival of the fittest. Too much propofol. Propofol. Yeah, the emergency led to cardiac arrest and unconsciousness. A routine endoscopy procedure to diagnose a sore throat and strained vocal cords. So, because she had a blocked heart chakra, and she's living in two different worlds, and it's affecting her love life, her relationships, her ability to accept love, to be in love, because that wasn't the environment she's in. So she's not going to exhibit an open heart chakra. She's not going to be open to intimacy or unconditional love. She could have been very, sarcastic. She could have used humor as a way to deflect a lot of intimate, questions, or getting close to her. It could have been very superficial with her. And so her superconscious said, okay, well, if you don't want to open your heart, you don't want to forgive, you don't want to forgive yourself, that's a blocked heart chakra. I'm going to bring you a situation where we can make your heart stop, or we can put you in cardiac arrest, since you're getting older and you don't want to accept this part of your life, or you don't want to process this trauma that you've put yourself through by your actions. Then her superconscious, which we talk about, knows no your superconscious is very literal. If you're holding back love, if you feel like you're not worthy of love because you did this and the other, that's a blocked heart chakra. If you feel like you can't be forgiven, that's a blocked heart chakra. You will literally bring to you diseases of the heart. You will bring situations that will stop your heart. You have a monitoring spirit. Oh, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do, but that's okay. They can monitor all they want. Hopefully, when they monitor, they'll pick up something and learn something.
Prayer.
Spirit says to say a prayer, so let me say a prayer. Spirit says to say a prayer. Do tell what prayer? Psalm 17, prayer for rescue from persecutors. Hear, Lord, my plea for justice. Pay heed to my cry. Listen to my prayer from lips without guile. From you let my vindication come. Your eyes see what is right. You have tested my heart, searched it in the night. Tested my heart, I told you. Searched in the night, you have tried me by fire, but find no malice in me. My mouth has not transgressed as others often do. As your lips have instructed me, I have kept from the way of the lawless. My steps have kept to your paths, my feet have not faltered. I call upon you, answer me, O God, turn your ear to me, hear my speech, show your wonderful mercy. You who deliver with your right arm those who seek refuge from their foes, keep me as the apple of your eye, hide me from the shadow of your wings, from the wicked who despoil me. My ravenous enemies press upon me, they close their hearts. They close their hearts. They fill their mouths with proud roaring. Their steps even now encircle me. They watch closely, keeping low to the ground, like lions eager for prey. I told you, in her old age, she may have gotten tired of being quiet. She may have been more rowdy. She may have been pushing back more. She was being insubordinate. Psalms 9. You want me to read Psalms 9? Let me see. They may have. I mean, she was old at that point. It's like she's like, I'm 81, fellas. I'm 81, fellas. Bring it. You know, she may have just not cared anymore. You know. Thanksgiving for victory and prayer for justice. Oh. I will praise you, Lord, with all my heart. I will declare all your wondrous deeds. I will delight and rejoice in you. I will sing hymns to your name most high. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before you. For you upheld my right and my cause. Seated on your throne, judging justly, you rebuked the nations, you destroyed the wicked. Their name you blotted out for all time. The enemies have been ruined forever. You destroyed their cities. Their memory has perished. She said an ominous event is near. So I don't know for sure, but I'm going to say what I'm getting, and we'll draw a couple more cards to find out. But I know that, like I said, blood in, blood out. If no matter how old you are, even if for 60 years you've been going along with it, pretending that everything's okay with whatever it is they do behind the scenes, if you ever reach a point, and this is for all the celebrity reads we do, this is common, even if you're old, if you're 81, blood in, blood out. If you break the oath of silence, of secrecy, if at all you tell anyone your secrets, if you start to push back and start to show remorse or some kind of regret or any kind of thing where you could be separating from the pact or the oath you took, they will really, they will unalive you. Spirit just said, really, they will unalive you. And they can make it look like a heart attack. They can make it look like pneumonia. They can make it look like a drug overdose. Whatever fits your situation. Joan Rivers went to the doctor to get a routine endoscopy procedure to diagnose for sore throat and strained vocal cords. So what they could do is manipulate energy so that she would get a anesthesiologist that's matching a low vibration where they can touch them energetically, and that person can have a fog that day. That person can ate too much bean burrito, has gas, and accidentally is distracted and overdoses with the anesthesia, or does a wrong mixture, like whatever uh the energy is being called to do. And then therein lies where they can make things happen without having to touch. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. They can make things happen without having to touch anything. As Albert Einstein is not touching any of these cards, and yet they're floating in the sky. It's like that. And I know that for some people who aren't savvy with this are like, that seems like a crazy movie, but from what we're learning about energy, it's really not that crazy. In this reality, if you understand energy and thoughts and intention, that's what rituals use, is the power of intention. By gathering people that have the same energy, that want to have the same goal and have the same intention, that creates an energetic force field, a power, a flicker of the light. And you can project that to people, and people do it on a small scale all the time, by evil projections, by watching somebody on YouTube and with their mind thinking, oh, I hate them, they're so stupid, thinking bad thoughts. And that can be felt. That's a psychic attack. You'll have a headache, or you'll have, that's just on a small scale. But now imagine a group of people who have created this blood oath together, that are connected energetically. And we've talked about that. That's called it's called a convergence, or the law of contagion. The law of contagion. This is a real thing. It's studied at Harvard. When you attach yourself energetically to anything, even an object, you will be connected to them for eternity. It's a pact that they make. And so if you show any sign of wanting to separate yourself, or that you could possibly tell anybody what's going on, then you're done. You're done. And so that's what happened here. Yeah, heart attack. Okay. Thank you so much, Joan. Well, that's awful, I'm sorry that you couldn't live out your dream in a peaceful way, that you had to go along with such dastardly corruption. What else do you want to tell us? What else do you want to tell us? What else do you want us to know? Fun. Into the swing, being playful, kids, childhood, play. Okay. See your value, make the most of the day, successful end, profitable build business, necessity and hard work, don't work for pennies. Give me one more, Joan. Fox. Work alone. Witty, quick, sexy, fox in the hen house, a desire to stay single, a good luck omen. She's saying she lost the fun. She allowed outside interference to dictate the direction of her business, of her successfulness. She wanted to do something that started as being fun, something that made her feel playful, something that she loved in childhood that she wanted to bring into her adulthood, but she was surrounded by adult themes, by adult people who were not
Francis.
they were not healed. And instead of instead of being in her, instead of seeing her value and instead of seeing her value, she bent to the whim of the expectations around her, instead of standing in her authenticity, instead of seeing her value, instead of making the most of the situation she was given. She sacrificed her own childhood wants and needs, and it wasn't fun anymore. It turned her into a fox in the hen house. It turned her into something that she wasn't. And that's an energy. And so she kind of was playing two roles, and it caused her to be two different people, and she couldn't see the value in herself, and it blocked her heart chakra because she was trying to be in one world where she's overcoming these obstacles, but not from a heart space, from a survival space. And she's not changing her thoughts about it. She wants to bring forward her comedy and her talent, but she also has to be cutthroat and be a fox. She has to be sneaky. She has to be this something that doesn't operate in the heart space. Being sneaky, being corrupt, that's an energy that you don't want to match. Even if that's what we're learning. I don't have all the answers, and we're learning as we go by doing these reads. But one thing I can say about Joan's situation is that she could have been a comedian. She had something that brought her joy, that she was good at, that she was talented at. She went into a business that could facilitate that, but she didn't see her value. She thought she had to change herself. She thought she had to bend herself to be what they wanted her to be, instead of standing authentically strong as what she is. She changed herself, and that's where she kind of faltered. Instead of standing up for what she thought was right, she changed herself for these people to be something that she's not. And then she had to play that role, and she was held back from being herself because she had already invited that initiation of whatever this darkness is. That wasn't, it was all in her head. She was coming from a head space instead of a heart space. It was more like, instead of following what her heart said and what felt good to her emotionally, she followed what her head thought. Well, if I want to stay here, I got to play the game. I got to be just like them. And in matching that energy, she stayed in that energy, and she saw things that matched that energy, and she experienced things that matched that energy up until her old age, where she started to not give a fuck anymore, and she started to get tired of having to wear the mask, tired of wearing the different hats, because she realized in her reflection in her old age, 81, that had ruined, she never had fulfilling relationships. She couldn't keep a relationship. She couldn't be intimate. She didn't have the ability to have intimacy. And that affected her. And she went for a routine endoscopy with her self being insubordinate to people around her that have been around her for a long time. And that was a bad move. She knew that it could probably bring her demise, but she was already done at that point. She's like, I'm old, like, whatever. You're not going to tell me how to live my life anymore. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be happy. And so, yeah, she didn't trust in God for sure. She didn't trust in herself. She didn't trust in her own divine spark, that she's everything she needs because she's a part of God having a human experience. She looked for value in other people's expectations of her, instead of knowing her value, that she came here with a gift that God gave her, and to stand in that authority. And she didn't. She changed herself. Okay. Okay. Joan, please tell us what you would have done differently now that you can get a higher perspective and you've gone through your life review with God. Tell us what the lesson is. What do you want us to understand about this? What do you want us to understand? It's safe for you to shine. I can't make it up. It's safe for you to shine. You have to know that however you're made, however you show up when nobody's looking at you, can you be that way in front of other people unapologetically and be vibrationally in that stance at all times? That is when you know that you have accepted that you're a divine spark. You are 100% pure positive energy, having a human experience. You are pure source energy, a piece of God who wanted to experience themselves through you, and everything that you experience is valuable. And it's up to you to know that you're safe in that space to be yourself, no matter the outside circumstances, no matter what people say, no matter what people expect of you. If you are not feeling that emotionally, you do not have to participate in that. You do not have to accept that as your reality, and to know that it's safe for you to shine. Yes, Joan. What else? Humility. Humility. Allow me, divine. I always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way
Anxiety.
and delight in receiving it. Having humility is one of the biggest lessons that I have taken away from my spiritual journey, knowing that nothing's ever about me, that it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to mess up, it's okay to make a mistake, and that I'm not my mistakes. I have to make a mistake in order to know what I want and what I don't want. If you don't make a mistake, how are you going to know? And if you have people around you who are constant, this reminds me at the beginning, the baker. I had somebody at work, a boss at work, that was taking mistakes I made and taking that as a sign that I was incapable of getting past it or learning, or that it was something that was going to pop up all the time. I'm going to be just a person that makes mistakes. And I was like, and from my perspective, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, of course I'm gonna make a mistake. I have like 3 jobs, I have 2 kids, I have a family. Like, this isn't my life. And so, yeah, I'm gonna make a mistake. And I had to communicate that to her. And so, this is kind of like the same thing, like, or anyone's situation. This is the lesson that you're you have to know that no matter who you are, being authentic will be the best course of action. You do not have to bend yourself. You do not have to be something you're not to meet someone else's expectations. You don't have to be more sexy. You don't have to dye your hair blonde. You don't have to wear blue contacts. You do what makes you happy regardless of what people think you should do. And when you stand in that and you realize that that is awesome and you see value in that, that is an energy from the heart space. That's what you want to match, because then you will attract what is meant for you at that level, at that energetic stance. If you change, if you bend to people's will of what they expect of you and change yourself, now you have to match that, and you will attract everything that matches something that you're not, and you'll be living a lie. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Clear your karma. Clear your karma. Clear your karma. Can you give me one more on that? What you want us to know about clear your karma? Can I get a card for clear your karma? Clearing. Clearing for clear your karma. As true offerings arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mind to God's. Such freedom. Yes. So what she's trying to say is that if you're in a position where you have done things that you've regret, you've gotten yourself to a place where you wanted more and more and more, and then you got it and you were so afraid to let go of it. You're like, mine, that you kept taking actions that didn't come from a heart space, that didn't come from love, that didn't come from your value. You do rack up karma because you're stepping on people's toes, you're, pushing people out of the way for your own success, you're starting rumors, you're ruining people's reputations, all those things that we do out of fear in order to substantiate ourselves or to facilitate some kind of goals we have. That's not necessary. And if you get to a point where you realize you want to clear your karma, you don't want to create karma anymore, you can do that.
Protect.
Protect. And the way that you can do that
Letter.
is you have to exchange joy for joy. If you want to clear your karma, then you have to start doing things that come from a heart space. Even the littlest things, it doesn't have to be big. The littlest things, opening the door for someone, giving someone a compliment, staying a little bit after work to help somebody, picking up something that someone dropped on the floor. You see a piece of trash on the ground and nobody's around, pick it up. What are you doing when nobody's looking around? Are you, you know, what are you doing to clear your karma from a heart space for others? How can you be of service? How, those are the little things that are going to clear your karma. They're going to chip away out of it. There's not like one giant thing that you can do that's going to like immediately release all this karmic debt that you've accumulated in this fear mentality.
Right.
You are right. Spirit says you are right. You have to clear it a little bit at a time, but you have to do it from a heart space, not because I want to clear this so I can stop suffering. No, I want to clear this because I want to be a better version of myself. And you ask your spirit team, spirit, angels, whatever you subscribe to, God, please show me ways that I can match divine energy so I can clear the mistakes I've made. I want to have humility. I realize that the way I've been acting has not been the best to develop my heart space, and I want to have better relationships that match divine energy. Show me how I can do that. And the universe will bring you, you don't have to do anything, you just have to be receptive, will bring you opportunities to do that. And you have to be at a place where you're aware of them, where you see them, where you pick up on them, because they're not going to be physical all the time. They're going to come to you in ways that aren't obvious. It's called subtle energy. You have to be able to read it because you're energetic, and the way and God is energetic, and love is energetic, and thoughts are energetic. You have to match joy for joy. Emotions are energetic. These are all non-physical things that aren't going to be super obvious to you, but you can do it. So Joan is saying to be authentic. Don't be afraid to be yourself, no matter who judges you or who tells you that being yourself is not okay. To have humility and to admit when you make a mistake, and making mistakes is part of the journey. If you cannot allow yourself to make mistakes, then you're going to have a hard time. You don't have to be right. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's not about I told you so or whatever. And to clear your karma, because you can't manifest what you want if you're sitting in karma that you're not clearing. Because it's not a match to divine energy. Divine energy has no karma. Divine energy is a heart space where you're coming from love, where you have compassion, where you have empathy for yourself and for others. If you are having a hard time understanding what that looks like, what actions to take, and what it looks like, we highly recommend the 42 Ideals of Mayat. Those are just if you need more of like a visual, structured way of participating in clearing your karma, the 42 Ideals of Mayat are a great place to start. You can look that up. It's just ways in which you can match divine energy on different levels. And she suggests that you do that. Receiving. Like I said, receiving. Oh my gosh, this is uh I'll end with this because this is part of the lesson, but it happened the other day. On Valentine's Day, we didn't have the kids. We had a babysitter, and I have the kids so often that when I go into a store, I don't buy anything for myself. There's not, I don't want to, have the kids say, I want this, I want that. And there's not a lot of time to really like look and participate in the whole, experience of shopping. So I just go in and out. I get what I need and I get out. And that's what I do. So on Valentine's Day, I went with my husband to a store to buy things for ourselves, and I was like, I was actually in resistance of that. I was like, oh, I don't need anything. We should buy things for the kids. And he's like, no, you gotta buy things for yourself. I was like, I don't know. I don't need anything. And then we went in the store and I just wasn't feeling it. And then it hit me. I was like, Spirit, why do I feel like this? Why don't I want anything? And and it was a lesson in receiving. Okay? You can't receive if your cup is full. You can't fill your cup if your cup is full. If you're not allowing yourself to receive opportunities where things are being given to you and you're like, no, 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 I don't want to take that. Even down to the littlest thing, like someone wants to give you money for something you paid for, or someone wants to help you do something and you're like, no, I don't need help. I just want to do it myself. That's not receiving. That's not being in a receptive mode. That's going to block you off from clearing karma, from having opportunities to receive those opportunities to clear your karma. So just make sure that you're staying in a receptive mode, that you're accepting help when it's offered to you. Even if it's by a stranger, if a stranger offers to help pick up a grocery bag or open the door for you, or you want to take those opportunities to receive and to start learning how to be receptive, because you're not going to clear your karma if you're asking help to clear your karma to be authentic. You're not going to receive it because you're not going to be in receptive mode. I hope that makes sense. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. Yes, exactly. So the lesson here is that you can be authentic no matter what situation you're in, and to not change yourself for anyone, and to know that you're supported in your path. If you want to be a comedian
6.
or a rapper and your environment, reclaiming lost possessions, reclaiming your power, and you're surrounded by people that don't feel like you're good enough, don't bend for them. Don't change for them just because that they think that you have to be something else in order to fit whatever it is. Stand in your authenticity, in your divineness, and know that the way that you are made is the way God made you on purpose, and that you are supposed to shine in that way, not change your hair color or be more sexy or be dumb yourself down to so other people aren't intimidated by you. No, you show up authentically and have and let these people learn humility, because you will be supported on your path. You'll be supported on your path if you're matching your divine energy and you're standing in your power, and you're knowing that you're always supported. God will show people around you that it's okay to be you, and you'll see, but you have to know your value and you have to stand in that 100%. And then if you've done things, there's another part of this. If you've done things in that energy where you felt like you had to change or be something you're not, and you want to clear your karma, you have to clear it by being receptive to the ways that it can show up to you, and allowing yourself to receive help and to know that you're worthy of being helped, even though you may have done things that are a tad bit unsavory. Okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Have humility. Everyone makes mistakes. You have to know that you have to make mistakes to know what you want and know what you don't want. And you cannot get to a place of receiving if you're not able to admit that you made a mistake. Okay? All right, those are some big lessons. I hope that they were received. I hope that they were heard. And we're so excited to bring forward Joan's energy. Thank you so much, Joan, for your messages. I close this session out with love and light, and I hope it helps in any way. Love you guys. Bye.